Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Treasure Cruise video. We're back for Treasure Map Hancock with my last set, the third set of teams that I'll make. Another team, we don't use Sabo and Koala, so if you did miss the Kizuna, then this team will work great for you. We are using pretty accessible characters like the Cypher to play Straw Hats. Of course, Ace Friend Captain, of course, so we have the most amount of points possible still. And we are running both of the 1.4x boosters. For the ship, I do highly recommend the Merry-Go, the regular Merry-Go, not the flying one. The reason for this is it provides our captain 20,000 HP, which ensures that we can actually kill on stage 2. It also reduces despair by 1 turn, which allows us to get around the despair on the final stage alongside the Robin special. So as you can see on stage 2, there are 3 backup mobs. These guys actually have quite a bit of HP. And we are using Ace's special to kill them off. You also get 3 turns of special rewind, a turn of burn, which is converted into a 3-turn attack boost by Ace. Carrot and Wonder is the MVP here, allowing us to get around the special rewind, also giving us an orb boost. Then we can use Nami's special to reduce the paralysis. If you attach a support of Luffy to Nami, you also get a conditional attack boost. So if you want more damage, you can do that. Nami doesn't have any support right now. Then we can use the special of Ace, and since we have a huge HP boost from the ship, it allows us to have enough HP to kill with Ace's special. What Ace does is he cuts crew's HP by 99% but deals 30 times the HP lost as damage to all enemies, so it's very important that you have a high HP value to ensure that you kill the enemies. Then we get a special rewind because we did use a damage dealing special. Our specials are also locked, so we can't get the cooldown back from preemptives or moving into the final stage. So we will be using the first stage special of Carrot and Wonder once again. For that to get ready, we do need Brûlé support. Luckily, Brûlé as well as Mr. One and the Miss Doublefinger support, both of them have been available for the choose your own character pool. So literally everyone should have that character. Both of these characters are very helpful. And then we get 9 turns of paralysis, 10 turn chain coefficient from Reiju on stage 2, and a 9 turn despair going down to 5 with sockets and the ship. Relay allows our Carrot and Wonder to be ready again, allowing our specials to be charged. We can use our Robin. She will also give us a chain additive buff with the support. And then finally we can use Sanji and Frankie. We are going to be ignoring the paralysis, unfortunately, but there's no good supports that you can use to get around it. So Ace alone should be enough. Of course, we have a chain additive buff alongside the chain boundary, allowing us to get past the chain minimum attack down, allowing us to kill off the intrusion quite easily, even with the paralysis. So let's move into the mini boss teams, which are very interesting. Using some of the most unorthodox teams you can imagine, but they work so well. Not very accessible, but the main thing is that they have really good speed and a lot of damage. So the first mini boss is up against Carrot. This team we are running a double Kuzan team. The main gimmick with this boss is that the enemy has basically every defensive effects: defense up, damage reduction, threshold. So we do only have to get around 3 turns of defense up and threshold, but there are 6 turns of damage reduction. So we are using a lot of supports that are going to help us reduce enemy defensive effects, and that alongside the special of a Rockstar, which reduces the damage reduction as well as the threshold and gives us a color affinity boost, will allow us to get a lot of damage and get through the enemy's defenses very quickly. So stage 1, use Kuzan to wave clear very quickly. Stage 2, Kid and Law will be ready. Make sure you have a -2 cooldown ship, otherwise Kid and Law will not be ready. They also need the Roger support. Then we get an attack and orb boost from Kuzan's captain ability, a chain boundary from Kid and Law, as well as a chain growth rate buff. And then the support of Iron on Bins will proc, reducing 2 turns of enemy defense up and damage reduction. Then we can use Rockstar to reduce 3 of the turns of the damage reduction, remove the threshold completely, and then Ben Beckman will remove the remaining defensive effects. Finally, you can use your Beppo and Sunny-kun to give a conditional attack boost, but that's not even really proc, so don't even waste your time activating that. It's a one special team with 2 supports. Pretty fast and good damage there. About 100 million if you tap on both Bins and Sunny-kun. Moving on to the next mini boss, which is going to be against Alti. Can't remember what I made for this one. Ace. Yeah, this one is probably the easiest team to build for. There is blowaway and bind to our left column, but if we just use Toki on our captains, we can ensure that we have our captains available on the final stage. There's literally no other gimmicks, so Toki single-handedly gets around the gimmicks and provides us a 3.5x attack and all boost. This team's damage is beyond me, bro. It's off the charts. Hundreds of millions of damage. Of course, the enemy is a Psy type, so our captains will also be dealing a lot of damage. So stage 1, you want to use your Zoro. If you don't have -2 cooldown on your aces, or you don't have a -2 cooldown ship, or you don't have expansion onto Zoro, then you will need that Zoro to make sure you have enough cooldown. But for me, I don't need it. It's just there in case you guys don't have all the abilities. Stage 2, use Toki on your captains and then to Zoro to wave clear and give you a chain lock and give your captains matching orbs. With all that, you can kill easily with Ace. 150 million, you can use the special of Ace to give you a 2.25x color affinity as well, which will allow you to get a 300 million per tap, up to a total of 600 million damage with this team. Very, very strong. The next one is up against Perona. This boss is... No, it's the next one. This one's also pretty simple. There's just a bunch of enemy defensive effects. We are using Carrot, of course. She's a great character for this quest because she allows us to ignore the enemy's threshold. And then she also provides a defense down in a special, allowing us to set the enemy's defense to 0, essentially ignoring the defense up. Beyond that, we're also using Momonosuke, who's a great character for having type advantage, and the enemy being weak to free spirit means that Momonosuke does 2x extra damage. But he also gives us a full board of Wano orbs at the start of the quest. Stage 1, use Kikunojo and Izo. It's extended by a turn. Chain lock because we have Garp ship with mod 2. And then stage 2, we use Jack to give us a 3-turn color affinity. So going into the final stage, we have 3.5x chain and 2x color affinity and Wano orbs. You don't need the Garp ship though. Just replace Jack with any wave clearer on stage 1 and then use Kikunojo and Izo on stage 2 instead. Then Carrot will give us a 2-turn orb boost and set the enemy's defense to 0, proccing the support of Dogstorm for a 1.75x attack. 1 special, 1 support, and we have all of these buffs, guys. This team is really efficient. Now, as for Morley, he does about 85 million damage. What I recommend though, super evolve one of your Hancocks, the Parking Adventures Hancock we just got. Use the 5-star Hancock, because we get enough copies from Parking Adventures where you can actually have a 5-star form. So use the 5-star form on this boss instead of Morley. She has 2.5x stats. The team will deal 300 million damage instead. That's what I'll be doing. But you could just keep Morley there. He still does a lot of damage. And of course, Momonosuke also does a lot. And then for the final team here, this is the least accessible team of the bunch. You need Law to be at level Limit Break 5 and Limit Break Expanded. We need a -2 cooldown captain who is a Cerebral or Free Spirit character. They also need to have a special that wave clears and also gives cooldown. Law ticks all the boxes. Very good character. We are relying on the Oiran Yamato Sailor ability to get around the debuffs on the final stage, the Despair and the Special Bind. We need this cooldown from Law special to ensure that Sabo is ready for stage 2, who wave clears and puts a territory of Cerebral on the field. This territory is necessary to ensure the Sailor ability of Yamato reduces the debuffs by 3 turns. Alongside the support of Rayleigh, we get around all turns of the Despair, and with Oiran Yamato and Borsalino, we get around all 5 turns of Special Bind with Sailor abilities alone. Then we use Luffy's special. Make sure you start off in his strength form, otherwise he will still have Special Bind. He gives us all the attack boosts in the world. And then we can just kill off with Oiran Yamato, dealing 112 million damage. Sabo will deal the exact same amount of damage, so about a 220 million damage dealing team. Very fast and very efficient, not very accessible. Then the final team here is going to be against the final boss. This one we are using Saba and Koala, so I mean, there's probably a replacement. Any special bind remover could work in a replacement, but Saba and Koala is mainly just there for special bind reduction. Of course, using none of the 11th anniversary batch, so no Roger Ligaban, no Rocks Pirates. Of course, friend Captain Ace, he's great on this quest. Let me think what he does. We get stun on the final stage, he helps us negate that. Now we're actually using the pudding support. Pudding reduces the stun. We are just using him on stage 2, I think, because we need our HP to be low, otherwise the enemy will have a 4-turn barrier. So stage 1, just kill off. Make sure you start off in the strength form of Nami and Karina. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. At stage 2, we get a full board of block orbs. And we have to use a specific type of orb if you want to actually deal damage. So swap into Nami and Karina's quick form. That will give us a full board of G orbs. The special will give a attack boost. An orb boost, and also remove the attack down. G orbs are one of the only kinds of orbs that are going to be dealing damage against stage 2 here. And of course, Nami and Karina becomes a lot stronger as a captain when you have G orbs. We also got a base attack boost from a super swap. At this point, we can also use Ace's special. This ensures that we have enough HP, low enough so that we don't have to deal with the enemy's barrier. We also get those G orbs locked, which is pretty cool. And then Nami will have a threshold of 6 turns. We'll use York's special twice to get around that. Make sure her double special activation is maxed. We'll use Saba and Koala's swap and special to provide us with a color affinity and special bind reduction. Use York's special. That'll allow us to get around the enemy defensive effects and give us buffs to our existing attack and color affinity. You can also use the special of Sanji and Frankie twice to get a bunch of chain, and then the kill is very easy. Would have helped to start the chain there, but yeah, team does good damage anyways. If you want to get the Hoship orb boost ready, then you can stall 1 turn on stage 1. But that's about it for this team. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about these teams, ask them down below. Very happy with how they turned out. These are accessible teams without any dupe dropping captains. No 6+ Saba and Koala on the intrusion. Not too accessible in terms of that one mini boss team where we use level limit break 5 LB plus Law as the captain. But it is what it is. It works really well. And of course the Garb ship, we also use that. So not too accessible, but it is very fast and high damage. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.